Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is Clifford, I'm Chris, and as you can see, he is now a working tractor, but it wasn't without struggle. Already done the left wheel, found some surprises on the right wheel. I'll try to keep the pace up a little faster on this right side because it's a kind of a rehash to the left other than a few key things. And then get you some more footage of him out in the field to wrap things up. So let's get started. I've already taken him for a spin to get that diesel fuel stirred up in the differential area to flush that out. And in that process, now that it's got some kind of fluid in there, I can see that seal on the pinion shaft is leaking. And most of the dots have disappeared, but it was flinging fuel out. So I've got a spot cleaned up for him, and I even have that seal. So whether that happens in this video or a separate video is another thing to be seen. But I figure it's Good Friday. It's a good time to get this wheel apart and see if there's any parts that need to be ordered for that, so I can get that process happening. Have all the seals and everything. It's just if there's any surprises like a bearing or something. So let's take them for another spin, get that stuff stirred up one more time. So far, no signs of leaking on the left wheel after driving it around. Steering's much tighter with that new, bushing in there, spherical bushing. Definitely leaking going on the right, and that pinion shaft. So very wet out. Just driving in the yard here, you can see the tires are getting wet. It's soaked. Fuel dripping down right there as it's going on the side hills to kind of swoosh it back and forth, clean out those tubes. Like I say, let's get it drained while it's still in suspension. Okay. A halfway decent seal because it can't suck air in fast enough through the just splash all over. What do I care? There we go. It wasn't terribly dirty. I think we got some stuff out of there. Little rust crud in the bottom there, but nothing, dramatic. I think I'll find a magnetic plug to put back in it. First glance, this bearing looks all right. No better once it's cleaned up. Well, that was easy. Yeah, that seal was gone. Yeah, that's diesel fuel from the center part. If nothing else, I guess it helped maybe rinse the inside of that out a little bit. Yep. Yep. That tells me the shaft seal is just, you know, shot. Let's take up one of these. Some more can drain. Oh, my hand's a little too big. Make a nice bracelet. I think this one's gonna get a speedy sleeve. Thrust washer, a little on the loose side. Well, it has all of its balls. There's the rubber part of the seal. Don't think that's doing a whole lot. Oh, this one's got the shorter seal area. It'll work, but it's kind of sad. Gives less room to support with my bushing. But it is what it is. I just had to show you what's left of the seal. There was so much baler twine in there. took out the part of it. Fortunately, the outer part that meets the hub looks like it's all right, so the new one should, you know, made up good and everything. Let's see if we can get this seal puller tool tapped in there to extricate it. Chisel that away. Oh my. This bearing feels dry and rough. I'm probably gonna wish I'd ordered a pair when I ordered the one for the other side. Save on shipping, you know. Super saver shipping. Yeah, there's baler twine down in there. Oh my, yeah, I'm betting that bearing is shot. Needs to find something a little more chisely. There she goes. Part of it. To wash that bearing up and the race. There's still a little more seal in there. Look at that. Baler twine. All right, I'll wash this up and report back. I am now in the wait for parts mode of things, but I do have a Robert from the 1600 project, and I do have another seal coming, but we'll take this one for now and get the seal changed while we're waiting. If we can put, you know, too many things in the way so you can't see it or whatever, that would just be grand. But it was definitely leaking diesel fuel out this shaft seal, slinging it around. And even if it wasn't, I thought it was, I guess it won't hurt to replace it. We've gone this far. Just gotta knock these locking tabs back. Maybe there won't be a giant glob of, you know, baler twine in there. Might as well get the other two while we're right here with the hammer. All right, I will put it in four-wheel drive to keep the drive shaft from turning. There we go. Well, whoever put this on could have been a little more observant of where the hole is. We gotta get this cotter pin out. There. I think we'll get a new one of those. Let's see. It's an 1.5 inches. It is. Oh, I should turn the air on. Remember, I think this might be a tapered spline. I think you're supposed to put sealant on the splines too to keep it from... Yeah. It might be puller time. Well, I'm not sure what all you can see, but you can see what you can see. Stay hooked. I'm gonna climb out from under here in case it goes pop and shoots towards my head. It won't shoot towards my head now. In a perfect world. It's coming. I guess it's not tapered splines, but it's gonna, you know, make me do this the whole way out. And hopefully I don't run out of threads. It ain't super hard, but this also ain't, you know, gonna just slide right off either. Any day now. I'll run out of threads on my puller if it doesn't come off pretty soon. That's just about it. I don't suppose now the hammer will tap it out. Man, it's gotta be right on the edge. Whee! To clean those splines up, but yeah, it's just a sealant that they use in there. All right, we could pull that cover off. Yeah, that seal was, ooh, yeah, basically gone. Oh, there's a spring. Yeah, that wasn't holding much oil back. Let's see if I can get it out with that handy dandy oil seal puller tool. Definitely not holding anything back now. But yeah, it was shot. It's coming. There it goes. Where'd it go? Yep, the lip was wore right down. And, you know, yeah, I didn't do it any favors pulling it out, but it was shot beforehand. Fortunately, we have a brand new one. 155 346A. Thank you, 1600 for your donation. A replacement is coming. I'll see if I can't find a driver that'll let me drive it in without having to pull that whole shield off. Or cover cap thing. There's the national seal number 4111234. Came right out of that AGCO bag. Let's see if we can't get that baby installed. Lip side in. I packed the back side with grease so the garter spring doesn't hopefully jump out on me. Well, that went pretty good. Some light tapping. Glad I put sealant around the outside. Light and careful tapping. And it's in. We'll put some aviation on these splines to help seal them. Okay, this time I'm going to get it to where the hole is not, you know, it's crossways to this cross so that it's a little easier to get the cotter pin in. Oh, there's two different holes. Yeah. Ouch! Oh, right in the drive shaft. Oh man. To the head. Drive shaft to the head. We'll do it this way. All I gotta do is get a hold of the line up. Oh, there's one. Of course, it's the one that's lined up wrong. Yeah, just a little more and it'll be lined. A little more. Well, so much for picking the right hole and getting this facing the right way. Well, I, gave it a camera break because of the words that were coming out of my mouth about getting that darn cotter pin in there. But that's over now. So we're gonna get to do. I said, yeah, the shaft hook back up. There, all done on that part. I have done some measuring and I found this bushing that is relatively affordable to fit the outer shaft. It fits really nice. It's going to squeeze down a little when it gets driven in. And I'll put them in during editing, especially if it actually works. Has some oil grooves in it. I'm going to face those towards the inside where the oil is. So let's go, this will go in that spindle. There's already a bushing in there. And I'm sure it has some wear on it. And it's available from Agco, but it's not available for the like 15 bucks I got this for. So first thing is to get the old one out. Oops. Hope your head don't hurt. Hope the GoPro still works. Uh-oh. The screen got dark. There we go. Let's try this again. I guess maybe I should be driving it the other way. That's a long ways to go out. So we'll do that. Let's hope this is good because I've ruined the old one. Okay, I'm gonna go find a driver that should, work with this. I do have another bushing that I know will work that I used in the 1855. Yeah, I got the oil grooves facing in. Not that that's some kind of recommended thing, because the state isn't even for this application. It's going. It's going. It's peeling a little off. I hope it don't squeeze down too tight. It's in. And there's one way to prove or show that it's good. And if not, we'll do some honing or something. Ooh. There it goes. Yeah. I like it. I'll go in there, I think, and just some deburr it a little bit. Might have a little bit of a lip from driving it in or something, but short of that, it does what it's supposed to. It has very little play. There's room for oil. That should help hold everything in place better. I did just a little bit of cleanup on it, and turns nice. It's got just a little wiggle to it, which means it's not gonna, there's room for oil. I like it. There is some grooving there with the seal ride, so I bought a speedy sleeve. And there's the number 99363 in the SKF. So I'm gonna put a little Loctite on there just to help seal it up and hold it. Probably breaking some kind of Loctite rule, smeared it around with a finger, but here we are. And of course, I don't have a driver that's quite right. So we'll, you know, try to improvise. And carefully. Drive it on there. Oh, you gotta go farther than that. Oh, what have I got? How about this bearing? I'll spread out the load some. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting back where it's going over the taper. Nice, smooth, clean surface for those seals to do their job. So I guess we can get a seal on the other side. So far, so good. Just slow and easy. That's in. New thrust washer, 155 317A. I've had these for a little while, thank goodness. I looked online and wow. I guess I'll have to stake that. The other one that was in there was staked. They are about $65 a piece from Agco, but I don't know where else to get them. So, you know, I'll have to get a prick punch and poke that around there. I guess I can put some Loctite on it. We got it right here. There, a few stakes with the punch, and it seems to be in there solid. Between that and the Loctite, it should stay. Piece of monkey! Son of a... Well, I figured as long as the forklift was working and oil's all warmed up, it'd been a while since it had a change. So pulled it in here and it's getting an oil change. I'm gonna finish that up and then I can get back to working on this. Parts have also rolled in, so I have everything I need to finish it up. Okay, now that that part is tackled and in place, it's time for the messy part, packing grease in with balls. And the parts came, the bearing and whatnot, and even this, I ordered another bushing. And just to verify, first off, here's the Case New Holland part number, 5104199. The other one I had was a aftermarket, but if you plug that part number into the old Google machine, it'll cross-reference it to a newer New Holland number, or I don't know, but you'll find it. I actually got mine off from Amazon, and let's see, look at that. A little loose, but it'll clamp down some when it gets, you know, driven into the hole. That feels about the same as the other once I squeeze on it and that gap closes. So, if you're looking for a cheaper, the aftermarket one, which looked nice, had some oil grooves. This has got oil pimples, dimples, yes. The other one, like I say, was like 15 bucks with shipping every, you know. I'm sure it's going to be more from Case New Holland, but there, you know, that is a source, and it is a nice fit. There's always that chance you might have to do a little honing. Time to start packing grease. Let me get everything ready. Grease, trash can, gloves, all the stuff I'm going to need handy nearby so I can get it all done in one fell swoop. Everything's in here. Another new thrust washer, a new seal, and my bushing that I make is in there. And I will go ahead and say what I made it to, but there can be some variation. AOD 2.125, and then the ID, the shaft is 1.656. So I usually, or I make it, you know, kind of give it a little bit. So up around what, 1.662 somewhere in there. Give it a couple thousandths room for oil and expansion and all that good stuff. So, you know, your results may vary, but that gives you an idea at least what to order for a piece of, I use continuous cast bronze. Ordered a piece that was as close to, you know, the 2 dimensions as possible, so I have to turn off more than necessary. And boy, I bought that probably 20 years ago or better, but I bought a good sized chunk figuring I'm going to get more of these. And that was a good investment, because I'm sure it's a lot more money now. I'll round that stuff up, and next thing you know, it'll be a mess. that's all together, oh, I can just, you know, turn the drive shaft over here. That takes some gumption. You know, that's to be expected. Going from the other way, turns nice and easy. Almost no play at all. That one should be good for the long haul. Hopefully it ain't too tight. But the backlash part I can turn easy. So it's good. Well, you saw earlier that the seal was, you know, totally caved in by twine. Yeah, this was definitely a loader tractor that fed cattle. And you know, not only do seals keep oil in, they also keep water out. And this back bearing inner brace, yeah, there's pitting and stuff. You can see it set with some water in there. And the rollers had the same thing going on. So once again, another bearing and race. The outer one was fine on both, but that's out closer to the oil. So here's a new cone, and the race is in the freezer. So I'll go grab that and we'll send it on home. New bearing is easy to install. Cool beans. I'll make sure this has got a good coating. Yeah, there's some grease on there. Because I put grease on the back side to keep the spring from jumping out. Had that happen enough times already. But this has to climb up on that speedy sleeve, so I want to give it every chance we can give it. And it's not much, and it comes right to the taper, so it's going to work out. I'll get this hung on the cherry picker though. That'll help keep it straight and more likely to, you know, go straight on the speedy sleeve as well. There's the drain plug that was in it. I put a magnetic one back in. So, just need to get this plug out. And that's the, where we'll fill it through and where it has to be filled up to. I got my handy dandy pump I used on the rear end. It's gonna take a couple of gallons. That's a pretty good sized area in there. Yeah. Well, let's get that plug in there first. It's a little creamy looking because that pump's whipping air into it because I ain't got the best seal on my hose here. But I'm only making a slight mess. Okay. Just need oil in that outer hub. There it is. The whole axle's been gone through. All fluids changed. Every fluid in the tractor has been changed. And so far, you know, it's not dripping all over profusely. I was noticing that these front wheels track a little inside of the back wheels. They're aiming just a little off. But I thought I would swap them side for side because there's an offset to them. And that would set them out just a little bit wider. And that way, you know, if I wanted to plow or something, they'd track with the rear tires better. So I'm going to round up some help and get that job done. That is it. Clifford is ready to work. He's ready to work at 4-wheel drive. He's ready to run PTO stuff. He's ready. And it's raining, of course. Looks like there's rain forecast for the next week, which by the time you see this may be in the past. Time will tell. Yeah, I like it's not a huge difference in offset, and the wheels are turned a little bit. But I like that better. A little bit wider stance. Maybe I should get the wheel spacers out for the front, and then it can look just like the one from that Wisconsin Oliver nut, or the Wisconsin Oliver nut. Yeah, that's his name. And his dad, Wisconsin Oliver Nut's dad, Stevie Wonder. I hope you enjoyed this journey. I'm gonna do a little bit of a walk around, and hopefully I can come up with some footage from, before everything, when he first got here with a cab and dirty paint that hadn't been polished up and leaks and dirt, grime. He's so much better now, aren't you, Clifford? valve cover leak there. Here's the test plot. I go crossways across that to